What's up, guys? You're listening to X3 Drop Premo.
After hours.
After hours.
The
Oh, should I
after
change the
hours.
lighting?
Yeah, I gotta change the lighting to the after hour lighting, man.
What color accentuates your skin the best?
I think it's just shades of white, bro. I use like 200K temperature lighting, and then if you want like a more like orangey, like because like certain things have vibes, right? So like really good lighters will know like what color temperature they want things at to give like the scene a certain vibe. I don't know that much about that stuff, so I just like very neutral, and like because I think we're all Asian, it works for us.
Yeah.
But,
So, have you ever gotten one of those color analyses done?
no, I've never done it.
I want to try it because our friend Ash, she told me when they went to, I think it was China, she got a color analysis done, and she was like, yeah, now I wear a lot more of these colors. And I was like, those colors look great on you.
Yeah.
And I recently started thinking about that. My wardrobe is all black. And lately, I've been really investing in white t-shirts. I've been wearing some more white and some more blues.
I think the color analysis
beiges.
people will probably bring you out of neutral tones.
And I'll tell them no. I'll tell them nah, dude.
What if they're like, you can wear royal purple, and then you can be purple guy?
Nah. For me, clothes, purple, orange, and green and yellow are kind of like no-nos for me.
Purple, orange, green. Oh, I have
Maybe-
a lot of green.
Maybe if they're accented, it's okay, but as like a primary color, it's a big no-no for
Yeah.
me.
Well, it also depends on the shade, right? Because like bright green,
Nah.
that's tough for anybody.
Yeah.
I think you're Zelda guy at that point. But if it's like an olive green, yeah, that's basically neutral.
Yeah, but even that, I'm just like thinking about just an olive green shirt.
You can
I'm
wear
just
an
like,
olive green.
Nah.
Anyone can
My
wear an
skin
olive
is
green.
olive. I don't want to
So
bring that
am
out.
I. I'm olive.
Yeah, and I hate that.
It's my skin. He's racist, bro.
We all knew that though.
Welcome to X3 Drop. I'm Xell.
I'm Ducky.
And I'm Tora.
And today we're just hanging out, talking about One Piece for once.
The after hours.
The after hours. Sorry, I should do the intro again. Welcome to fucking X3 Drop, where we fucking talk about One Piece. Sometimes.
I'm not acclimated to this yet, so
Yeah.
you'll get me just screaming. Later
How
on.
does it feel to be the official
Yeah.
X3?
The people were clamoring.
Yeah.
So we had to give them what they want.
Yeah. Producer Tora has always been behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah, barely.
He's always been behind the scenes.
My behind the scenes work is actually just tweeting at Jin to tweet out that something has come out.
Yeah.
Because this guy just like is like, yeah, people will find it. No, motherfucker, people won't find it. And I'm like, we gotta tell people. And he's like, but I don't know. And I'm like,
Sometimes you just gotta whip the horse, you know?
Yeah. All I
get the
do
horse
is
moving.
whip the horse a little
And
bit.
this horse old.
And I drive y'all around. That's about all I did prior. But yeah, it feels great.
Whenever I'm away, I'm like sick or on a trip, you fill in for me too, so that's nice.
Yeah. It's always fun. Joining has been. It doesn't feel like anything changed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I honestly, the only reason was like I thought it was just annoying to get here. Like, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, because I live maybe 15 minutes
Yeah,
away
you
from
live very close,
And
so
then Tora lives like 50 minutes away.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
it takes
so far.
a lot longer to get over this way. But sometimes you work closer. So those are the days that are
conveniently,
easier.
I do work like 15 minutes away now.
Yeah.
So it's just on Sundays.
Yeah.
So I'll be in and out sometimes. But yeah, feels awesome.
Tits! Milkies!
Ubers! Auga!
What is tits in Chinese again?
Nides.
Nice.
Nides.
New knife for the nice.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff.
So sorry you guys had to listen to all that. Okay. We are now officially 2 weeks out from the nationals for One Piece. How were we feeling? Let's check in.
Man, not good. I'm not feeling that good. I feel pretty decent about my list, but when it comes to matchup wise, man, Ace, it's not easy for Ace. I don't want to say that it's tough for Ace because if you win dice roll, you have a shot against any deck.
Any deck, yeah, for sure.
Right? Like it doesn't matter what deck it is, you have a shot at winning. So that's kind of why I decided on sticking with Ace.
You're locked in. Hundo P.
I think I'm locked in.
Hundo P.
I think I'm locked in. There are a few reasons why I'm locked in. A is like I don't want to get the other cards for other decks. I don't really have all the time and the bandwidth to just like jam games on the other decks. Pretty comfortable with Ace. That's number 2. I played him in OP13, so I'm familiar with a lot of the lines and a lot of the like garbage time stuff.
Yeah.
Right. So like I'm pretty comfortable with that. The ins and outs of Ace. And then aside from that, like he is just a deck that is generically powerful, right? He can win any matchup with the right dice roll. Without the right dice roll, he can still win because he's just that good, right?
Yeah.
But he requires your opponent to kind of slip up a little bit. Aside from that, yeah, I mean, it's just a good deck, right? It's a top 3 deck for a reason, but I don't think it's 1 and I don't think it's 2. So that's kind of the issue here, right?
You think
like,
it's 3?
I do think it's 3.
Okay.
I think just because so like even his good matchups, his quote unquote good matchups, purple Dofi and yellow Luffy.
Yeah.
If you lose dice roll, that matchup is very, very losable. Like I remember playing a game against yellow Luffy. I lost dice roll. I went first, and all they did was play a 4-drop, play Nico Robin, play Kid, play Bonnie. And even though I saw my curve, I still lost.
Yeah.
Damn.
Like I still lost, right?
Yeah.
Like all they did was just play the things that they did, beam my life, and then play the unblockable event. Because I have to address the stuff on the board, right? Like I have to like red rock his
Balance it
Bonnies.
and,
I have to remove his kids. I have to like round table them or whatever, right? And he's still like pretty healthy. 6 life leader, pretty healthy, right? He had like 2 life, maybe 1 life. He's also healing through Kumas and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden he beams all of my life. I don't have that many cards in hand.
You
And
don't
then
draw off your leader when
Correct.
he beams it. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have that many cards in my hand, and all he does is just unblockable 14, and then I counter out, and then just unblockable 14, and then I just die. Yeah.
That is tough.
And if I punch his life and Usopp comes out, he just goes unblockable 16. I'm just like, fuck. Yeah, so like, the matchup is not easy.
Yeah.
It's certainly not free. It's much easier if I go second because they can't play the 6-drop on curve. But
That's been
yeah,
my experience.
That's
playing
really
Yellow
it.
Luffy is
the difference is the 6-drop.
yeah.
Everything else doesn't really matter.
How about you? How are you feeling right now?
Honestly, I was feeling pretty bad,
Yeah.
but Kyla Kai got my back.
Yeah. His guide's awesome.
His guide is, if you are an emu player, I think you just have to read it.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
$20 and
it's
like
must
I think
read.
it's super affordable for
guide.
And so I've now bought 2 guides from Kalakai. I bought his UP guide and then I bought his emu guide. The main reason, like, not 100% of the stuff that's in there is applicable for what I needed, but I just like his writing style a lot, and then I like where his head's at with guides. I mean, I haven't really read other people's guides, but there's just like certain people that I see how they talk about the game, and I'm like, oh, I can learn from that guy. And I feel like Ikalakai is one of them. Dog of Wisdom being my other goat. That like, I just like the way they approach thinking about the game. Right?
Nosturo? What about Nosturo? He has guides,
Nosturo.
no?
Honestly, I haven't really partaken with talking to Skepis G is who we're talking about. Right? just so we're
On
in there.
stream, people are like, yeah, they call Nosjuro, the 6-cost rusher, Skepas.
Yeah.
And I was like, that is funny and insulting, but more funny because he's here.
Having him in chat in the recent streams has been awesome because he does have like, just from the conversations, he's like, it sounds like he's like also a person who isn't hard-headed, right? That's like one of the big things with card gamers that I talk to is like, some people feel very much like, this is the way, that's it, has to be this way. And like, I'm like, they might be right, but I don't like that framework of thinking.
Yeah.
You know? And so I like having this dialogue. You can tell me why my idea is bad, but like, it's not binary all the time, right? And so like, I like people who think about possibility space. Okay, this line is bad now because of this, but in the situation that this would come up, that line actually becomes good.
Correct.
Right? So like, people who explore that possibility space, I think, are the people who work best with how I think about the game. And Ikalikai is for sure that kind of person, because like, yeah, you might get a Metafy guide from somebody who has more accolades. Like Ikalikai has won some flagships here and there, but he's not like Jonas or Jackson or whatever. But like, at the same time, though, I think it's way more important to get information from somebody who just gives you the good information versus just being a top player. It's very different from being a good coach, right? So
yeah, totally. That's a really apt kind of comparison. Is not every coach for a top team is a really decorated player of that particular game, right?
Tiger Woods might be the best golfer, but he might not be the best coach, right?
Yeah.
So
that's like a good example in soccer. Like most of the most legendary coaches right now are like not Diego Maradona and like Pele per se, or like people like that.
Yeah.
It's actually a rarity.
Yeah.
Because this happened with Thierry Henry a lot, where Thierry Henry, legendary player, right? Like tore up the Premier League for years, and he started coaching. And the feedback that people heard was that like he sees the game so differently because his physical attributes allowed him to play this game that just doesn't work for other people.
Yeah,
so, like,
that would make you an absolute dog ass coach.
Yeah, you're like, why don't you just beat your man? It's like, Coach, I can't.
Yeah,
He's better than me.
Have you seen the guy? I can't.
Like, run faster. Like, it doesn't make sense. Whereas, like, I mean, Pep was a very good player.
Yeah.
And
but
Zinedine
like
Zidane,
not
obviously.
like per se. Yeah, Zinedine Zidane.
He's
Pep,
like he's a
but,
rarity.
Like, yeah. Both of them are rarities.
Yeah.
But in the same sense, like people like center defensive mids have become great coaches.
Yeah, because they have a
just,
great eye for the game.
They
Yes.
just see
Yeah.
the game
They're
as
smart.
a whole.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like it's not about them being like physically. They are physically gifted, obviously, but that's not their role to be like, I am going to bundle you over and like push the team. It's like I'm going to control the game through like my play.
Yeah, that's why center mids are like IGLs.
Yes.
Yeah, right. It's like
Hundo P.
Like you see a lot of IGLs in games like Valorant or like CS playing the controller role, right? Because they're trying to control the map space, right? They feel the most effective that way. Or they're on like the sentinel role, right? Where they're playing a bit more defensive. They can have a wider view of the scope of the game. If you're playing an entry or a duelist, becomes a lot harder because you have to, like, yes, you're calling the aggressive shots and you're making first contact, but then it's hard to control the pace of the game after you've like just gone in, right?
Yeah, your POV is so narrow
it's,
from that point.
It's super, super narrow. So I think like center mids or like maybe even center backs are like great IGLs
for sure.
for those things.
For sure.
Yeah.
But in terms of prepping, so I didn't play OP13. Like, at all. I played Zoro because I like the green guy.
Yeah. Which made sense why you started with Mihawk this set, right?
Yeah. So I started with Mihawk, and then I realized I think my like heuristics. Me and Jin talked about this a lot, where I'm not very good at learning new decks quickly. I just have like bad, like I guess like game understanding of like scenarios when they present themselves, like what I want to do and like how the game will progress with new decks, especially.
Sure.
So similarly, that becomes an issue with Emu. But there's just a lot more data that I can like pull from, and like this guide, like why the Ikailakai guide was really worth it is because he like presents scenarios. So like a scenario that comes up is like Mihawk playing a 1-cost Kikunojo. And then on his Fordon, if he's going second, he's probably going to swing 5-6. Mm-hmm. And there are scenarios where you can actually take both life because like your goal in the game is to like race, correct? So if you don't have pieces that require like allow you to race, or like you don't have like your events in hand to protect your bodies later on when you are just like pressuring the Mihawk, like this is a scenario where you have to like figure out why you're taking both life. Whereas like as a like pretty rigid player, I would always just pretty much counter both.
I see.
Because this is like in my head, this is the correct thing to do.
Yeah, so like kind of a similar comparison with Ace would be when people swing 6 at you when at the beginning of the game when you have 6 life and you're going second as Ace, right? If you counter here, that means on your 4 and your 6 Dawn turn, when you don't have a Dawn attached to your leader, you have to aggressively counter for your board because you want your guys to live, right? And you also have to counter for your life because you don't want to just take 1 damage. You're potentially down that expected value of the extra card off the leader ability. So you're giving them cards with nothing in return. Whereas if they swing 6 at you, you can take the first life, take your life, draw a card. Now you have ample resources to protect your life and your characters in the future 4 Dawn, 6 Dawn turns, right? Until you can get into your 8 Beard turn.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a similar concept.
Very similar concept. And like a lot of these like heuristics or fundamentals of certain decks, like I struggle with learning until like I see it happen. And then I'm like, oh, this is like the correct line of things of how I should play this out. So the nice part about the guide is like it allows me to catch up really fast. Because without having played OP13 Emu, like I don't know what I'm doing most of the time. And luckily, this new meta has come out and it's like, okay, I just need to learn a couple new matchups and like Ace is relatively the same.
Yeah,
and the mirror is
Ace
relatively the same. Like they just traded out Zoro for Mihawk, which is definitely a worse matchup for you. But there's definitely ways to play around it. But right now I'm all theory. So I haven't played that many real life games on the deck, and that's like the biggest worry part for me. I'm thinking like I know sim isn't great practice, but to just like go through the thought process of what I'm thinking is like I think I need that practice to be like playing sim with essentially a purpose is what I want to do, even if the games are kind of like bad games, because I played a couple Mihawk games where I'm like I see conceptually why these things work because they do just beat worse players, and like it's like an amplified version of the game state. Like I did the aggressive like race of Mihawk and he played 2 Shanks and I still won. And it was like, okay, I understand why I did the certain things I did, and that helps me solidify like why I want to play the deck. Deck is just strong. I think it's top 2 and possibly one. Yeah. And honestly, I know my dice gonna be hot.
Yeah.
I'm winning 10 of 10, and meet me at the craps table after because we're going on a legendary run.
All right. Okay.
That's interesting. Like, what was the big decision? Because like we were talking about, you started on Mihawk and then you moved to Emu. Was really what pulled you?
I don't really know. I think we kind of trolled the list for Mihawk early, and then I was like, oh, I think I said this on stream a little bit ago, but I had during the last Nats, I actually had this gut feeling that I didn't really understand how to play Zoro. But I just like brute forced it. I was like, oh, like I'm just gonna like run this deck into the ground and like pretend I know what I'm doing, but I didn't put in the legwork to be a better Zoro player or like really get into the nitty gritty of like why you're doing certain things.
Yeah, it's like understanding the holistic macro of the game. Yeah,
because that deck was all just like fundamentals and swinging and like why are you going for board here, or like why are you going for life there.
It's very funny because like the meme thing was like Zoro players, helmet players, they're stupid. All you do is just attach all your dons. Like
it's a pretty like fundamentally difficult deck to pilot. Like you have to understand the macro and you have to understand the fundamentals of how One Piece works as a card game.
Yes.
The only like helmet thing about it is that it doesn't have much flexibility.
Yeah, like you are going to rest their characters, swing into it, then swing life. That is true. You will do that over and over.
Yeah, but that
like,
is the macro of the game.
What numbers are you going for? Like, in what cases do you want higher numbers or lower numbers, or like
how can you dictate the pacing?
Yeah.
Because I think typically those combat fundamentals and the numbers matter the most when you're removing things via combat. Like when you're moving things via combat, that is probably the most important. And not only that, it gives you the most information on what a player has in their hand, what your
Yes.
opponent has on their hand, right? If you're red rocking your opponent, I have zero information what is in your hand. But I'm swinging 7, I'm swinging 8, I'm swinging 6 at your guys. I have data now, and I think the good players over the course of the game, once it gets to that lethal turn, will use that information in their favor
Oh, for sure.
to swing at you really annoying numbers.
Yeah.
Arthur was saying when he played against Richard Yam that it just felt like he knew exactly
Yeah.
what cards were in his hand the entire game.
Yeah.
And yeah.
It's just because Zoro will constantly swing at you via combat and then just understand what you have in your hand at that
Like,
time.
is this a moment where, like, as the Zoro player, you know if they could save this body, they would.
Yep.
And if they don't, then you're like, all right.
They don't have shit.
They don't have
don't
it.
have it. They
I
don't
got
have it,
you.
yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of how I was feeling with Mihawk in the beginning, where I was like, man, I really want to be good at this deck because oddly enough, I like Perona and I can play her
Why is
in
that
the
oddly
deck.
enough?
I don't. I have a little ghost on my bag.
You like
in
the
my
ghost?
backpack.
You like Perona?
I like both.
Tits.
All right. Moving on. But yeah, so I was like, oh, this is a deck that the Shanks is really strong. Like, it just feels easy to play when you like look at it. You're like 5-7-9, easy play. But I think I am not a player who just can play on curve and like get through the game correctly. I make a lot of mistakes in that sense where I like maybe I'm over countering or I don't understand the flow of the game because I'm only thinking 5-7-9. I just win the game if this happens.
Yeah, it's tough too because it's not. I think Mihawk specifically as a deck, within the context of the Ace matchup, is not really a matchup where you can just turn off your brain and go 5-7-9. Because as an Ace player, I don't mind a 5-7-9. Honestly, like if you are playing a 5-drop into Shigi, yeah, it's annoying. But if you're not protecting it correctly, I'm draining your hand size by a lot. Your Shanks comes out, I'm ignoring that, developing my own big guy, and then your 9 comes out, I remove your sitting big guy at the same time with Red Rock Roundtable, and then the game is sealed after that, right?
Yeah.
It's like just playing on curve honestly is probably suboptimal in that particular matchup, right? But if you were to go a little wider or divert me from my game plan a little bit more via maybe a 5-cost stun Bonnie, things of that nature, things get a little trickier. Things go into garbage time more, but Mihawk does have the upper hand in that kind of
Garbage time.
exchange. Yeah.
Mihawk, oh man, I have fallen in love with that deck. So to talk about my own preparation, I was pretty in between a couple of decks. Purple Dofi was a contender. Roger was a contender for a little bit.
Yeah.
Dude, low key, that deck is fucking annoying.
It's actually messed up. Like,
oh my god.
I've seen some people play it on Sim.
Yeah.
Someone else, was it you that was telling me that there's been a lot of Rogers on Sim?
I don't know if it was me, but
I said that.
Oh, you said it.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
there have been.
I played like 3 or 4 the other day.
Yeah.
I am impressed by that deck. That deck is, I think, less because everyone talks about Roger is so unreliable, et cetera, et cetera. I didn't find that necessarily the case. It was like a more stable UP, which is like very scary,
Yeah.
right? So that was a contender for me for a while, but then I was testing out more things, like more games with it, and I felt like you just fell victim to a lot of the same things that people are attacking in for Mihawk, and you just take it unnecessary like hits, and your game plan can't really diverge. So like I was playing with Andrew, who's on Boa, and he plays a bunch of red rocks, and he just red rock my shit all the time. Red rock, and I'm just taking hits. Even if I'm at 7K, like eventually I'm chipped at that point, and I just die. But I can't really do anything about it when my guys get red rocked. Like I'm hoping that the effect that I get off their on play is enough to counteract with the value they get with red rock. But generally speaking, it's not the case.
Yeah.
Now moving to Mihawk, and now I'm playing this kind of like sort of more mid-rangey go wide supernova build. Like I have the option. 5-7-9 still on the table for me when I need it to be, but also I can play this sort of like interesting, weird mid game where like I'm playing for just low ball tempo stuff, and the deck feels very different. It feels very like almost like a law deck a little bit, because one is like it's kind of on the basis of 6-cost law, and you're playing very low to the ground. You're only hitting 5-6, 5-6 over and over again, and just like chipping your opponent out versus like overwhelming them with like law Beppo and 9-cost Mihawk. And I like that sort of flexibility and game plan. So anyways, yeah, Roger got off Roger, and then it was kind of between Purple Dofi, Mihawk, and Emu. Emu is just a deck that's always going to be in my back pocket. It's not like I played a lot of OP13, but I feel like I have enough reps on the deck to where like I have a good understanding of what it wants to do. Obviously, maybe not in all the different contexts of all the different matchups, but I felt like I could give myself enough time to make that up. And then Purple Dofi, I think, is a deck that actually just requires too much time. That deck is like a deck that you fully have to understand the freestyle nature of it. Hundo P. Like, it is just like the ultimate freestylers deck. And I'm just not willing to put myself through it, especially because like even if you master that deck, I'm not sure if the squeeze is worth it, right? So I was like, okay, or Mihawk and Emu. Yeah. And so having played a bit of Mihawk lately, I also just love that I'm not as tied to dice roll, which is very important for me.
Super important.
Because like one is I think of my dice roll, I'm just bad at rolling dice.
Yeah.
So I feel like if I can find a more consistent list of Mihawk, then I think I might be happier. And again, Mihawk is another deck that people say is like inconsistent. And I'm like, it is, but it isn't, because like you have this flexible game plan, and so you can kind of garbage time your way out of a lot of scenarios. And I find myself doing that a lot, where I'm like, this hand is not great, but I have these tools at my disposal. So like, what is the most awkward thing that I can do to be annoying to my opponent, and then go for that over and over. And then if
buy yourself enough time.
Yeah, buy myself enough time to maybe have drawn into law Beppos that actually end the game from there. So I've been really, really impressed by the deck, and now it's just time to refine. Do I think I have enough time to refine? I'm a little scared. Like 2 weeks, especially because I'm going to be gone this next weekend. Like, do I?
Are you leaving this next weekend?
Yeah. My mom was like, "Let's go to Cabo," and I was like, "Okay."
Your mom
insane.
again, man. Yeah. Your mom strikes again.
Yeah.
I was like, she was like, "I'll pay for everything." I was like, okay,
Say less.
yeah.
Say
Like,
less.
He goes, I'm unemployed. Yes,
yeah,
ma'am.
yeah, I will go. I've never been. So, and so like in terms of preparation, like I still have some questions I need to answer. I've gotten a lot better, I think, at some of the matchups. Like the Ace or the Emu matchup, I feel like I've learned a lot in. Still could refine some things. The Mihawk Mirror could refine some stuff in the end game specifically that gets a little hairy. And then Loki, I feel really good into Ace. I played into a lot of Ace this last week. And then some of the more tertiary matchups that I feel like I could run into, like Purple Dofi, Yellow Luffy, even Crocodile.
Boa?
Boa is another matchup
Yeah.
that I also feel like. That one I feel like I conceptually understand, but just more reps again, just to really lock everything's in. And if I want to change ratios at this point too, is another thing I want to take a look at. So hopefully 2 weeks is enough for that. But otherwise, I don't know. The deck is strong, man. The list looks fucking ass.
Yeah.
You look at the list and you're like, what is this? What is this guy
Turns
smoking?
out it's beast.
Yeah. Again, it's almost like the deck is built on garbage time. Like 3 of everything, which is like 2s and 3s, just like based off of what you get, all the card pieces work really well together. So it's just about like
what you get.
Yeah,
It's
about what you get,
what
yeah.
you can make.
And
Chef it
that's-
up, Sanji
yeah.
style.
Yeah, it's really fun.
Yeah.
The deck is very fun. I don't know if the all-in 579 build would have enamored me as much as
No,
this
for
style.
sure not. Everyone refers to it as green shanks.
Yeah,
So.
it is not
Fraud
green
Hawk.
shakes. It
Fraud
is-
Hawk.
Yeah, Fraud Hawk.
I think Australia showed us it wasn't Fraud Hawk.
Say what?
Australia showed us it wasn't Frog
Yeah,
Hawk.
yeah.
I mean, there were a lot of
Yeah.
Mihawks.
Yeah.
Ooh, I was about to say though that I think another reason why I chose Emu was I'm not much of like a ratios guy. Like I'm just like vibes. Like
Hand me the sword, let me cut with it.
yeah, and then Emu was just like it's got its 50.
Yeah.
Like the only thing is like, oh, do I play an extra Shirahoshi or an extra Musguard and then the Garp event?
Yeah.
Like I'm four.
That's basically it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like 48 cards locked.
Yeah.
So I was just like, if all it takes is for me to just play the game a lot, I'm fine with that. Learn the deck.
That's true. That is actually
so
like
I don't have to think about deck building.
That's huge. And to be honest, the Mihawk thing would have been scarier if I didn't like the current list that I'm on. Like if I had played it and I was
And
like,
it was bad.
"Ugh, I don't like this.
You'd be on Emu for
yeah,
sure.
I'd be
Yeah.
like, no. Go back to Emu. Same ideology. Just like play the thing that the deck list is finished on. But I think this list, like, there's not even that many considerations at this point. So yeah.
You sent us something interesting recently, as we've talked about. The 3 decks we're playing, all different. But Jin in our group chat recently sent us like a tweet where it was, I think, a Magic the Gathering player was like, oh, like for the first time in their group's testing history, they're all bringing like the same deck.
Yeah.
And then even in like the Azuki tournament, like we played the same 50. Josh played just a completely different deck, but we all like came to the consensus that both were strong and both could win on its day. What are your feelings in terms of One Piece? Because like very different games, right? Like all 3 of them. So there's like a different dynamic on like choosing what you think is the best 50.
Yeah.
Or like what are even like our play styles are quite different. So like adding
more
into that.
context on the Magic the Gathering tweet was that he felt like it was a failure to have your testing group go into a tournament with different decks.
Yeah.
Like that is I think that's a little bit of hyperbole.
Sure,
Yeah,
sure.
for sure.
The
because-
sentiment is there, though.
But the sentiment is there because I do think that everybody in your testing group should come to certain conclusions, and the only reason that certain choices are different is just because like you couldn't agree on something and that's it. And I think that's okay. You know, like you don't have to agree with everything. And I think like I think in a very ideal world, everyone is super neuroplastic, where like they can pick up any deck, play everything the same. Then yes,
or even have the time to do it.
yeah,
right?
and all players have infinite time where they can grind everything out to the same level of preparation as everybody else. Then sure, I think maybe that thing makes a lot of sense.
In a perfect world.
Yeah.
And I guess like for me selfishly, because like the only thing that's weird, I think, and it's a complaint that I have about our play group, is I think people are too rigid in what they want to play and the style of things they want to play and what they bring to the table. Like I think like if we as a group were trying to improve the best that we can, we'd all play different decks and we'd all get to a certain level of prep with every deck so that we're all prepared for all matchups.
Sure.
And like we can choose the best of the pickings, you know? But I think a lot of times, at least within our kind of like wider KFJ play group, it's much more like, I think that this deck is cool and I'm going to run this deck for Nats.
Yeah.
And day one, I was like, okay, like I guess. And I think it's probably unreasonable because, like, I think maybe this is my own greed or over, like, I don't know, like, what the right word is, but like, I would love if like our play group were more willing to explore things a bit more and like see the sights a little bit, you know?
Yeah, I think the closest player to that is maybe like Eric or Drew.
Yeah.
Like those are the players that I think swap decks the most often.
Yeah.
To something reasonable. Like Eric is usually playing stuff like Emu or Bonnie, but is now on Mihawk.
Yeah.
Drew usually plays what's the best deck, but for some reason is now on Boa.
Yeah.
I don't really know why.
Yeah, he
but
believes.
Yeah.
He's like a hard believer of that
But
deck.
I also think in his context is much different because he took some time off.
Yeah.
And then he's also playing an LCQ. So I think
Oh, true. LCQ matters.
like we were talking about in the context of LCQ, Boa
was
is
awesome.
Boa
Yeah.
is awesome.
Yeah.
People are just gonna mess up because Jin was telling me at RWT, like emus into Boa, like the 4 cost blocker Boa would just be up, Dawn attached to leader, and they'd be like 6 lead.
huh?
I would just like constantly see like misplays where I'm just like, you're dead next turn. What are you doing right
Yeah.
now? Like,
Yeah.
or like they just like don't read the game. So
They don't look like maybe 1 or 2 turns ahead. They just analyze the board state as is.
yeah. And then they get to that checkmate scenario where they're at 1 life, they have a blocker Boa, and like 3 life, and it's like, you're already dead. And they're thinking really hard on like the numbers they want to swing and this stuff. It's like they just block and you're dead the next turn. Like you're just
Yeah, I mean,
game's
like,
over.
Just explode.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there are times where like I've watched aces into emus, and there was one game in particular where this player had, I think it was like Ninebeard, Blockbeard, Uta or something like that against
That's pretty good
emu.
board.
With 0 life.
Yeah.
And emu at this point had run out of elders, and it was like a hyper garbage time situation on board, and all they had to do was like free block with the Blockbeard and then counter out weenie swings, and anything big that comes at them is now blocked with the Utas, right? But they were blocking with the Utas just to like conserve the cards on board. Cards in hand, but I'm just like, well, you don't need those cards in hand, right? It's like you have a Blockbeard, you can establish another one and then accrue value over the course of 2 turns that way. And your Utas will just accrue value on their own, right? It's like if they don't block now, they're gonna block later.
Yeah.
Right. So like if they're swinging 6 at you and you're blocking with your Uta, all you're doing is looking at the board state now and saying, how can I get the most value out of what I have in my hand and what I have on the board in just this 1 turn.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm going to block with Uta because it doesn't cost anything to block with Uta. But in the grand scheme of things, it does cost you a body and a potential, and not a small body. This isn't a 2K searcher, right? This is a 6/4 blocker. You can touch 3 Dawn and swing 2 over with this card, right?
Yeah,
It's like
very good.
The emu has 3 cards in hand, 3 Dawn up. You can just assume that all of them are events that'll pump them
You
by
swing
4.
5 there, they're so annoyed.
Exactly, right?
I'm pissed.
Yeah, it's like one of those things. It's just like you swing with Uta, play the Marco. And like Utas also are blockers that circumvent ground death, right? So it's just one of those things where just look a little ahead, analyze the board and how it'll change, how it'll evolve or devolve in the course of like 2 to 3 turns, and then make your decisions based off of that, right?
Yes.
Instead of just looking at
Right now.
at face value what it is right now and then doing what you do, because that is one style of playing, right? It's like just analyzing what is in front of you and then doing the according thing, right? And then the next turn happens and then you analyze and you go, I'm going to do the thing. But most of the time, I think that'll get you worse results over,
One
many,
Piece
many
is just
games.
not that game.
Yeah.
I think like One Piece is very much a game of understanding who's gonna die when.
Yeah.
And like the more accurate you are, the better fortune teller you are on how many turns there are actually left in the game.
The more prepared you'll be.
The more prepared you'll be, and the more your game plan makes sense for that specific scenario, right?
Yeah.
Because blocking early makes sense if you think you're gonna die on that spot, but like
if you're not going to die on that spot, hold the value.
You can be eking out more value.
Yeah,
for,
you can cash out later.
Yeah, so
it's for ace very specifically too. As an ace player, sometimes I watch other ace players play, and the way they pilot, it's like not necessarily wrong per se, but it's different than how I would have piloted that particular game. Like I could just look at a game state, and I would think immediately to myself, "Oh, the pacing is off. Like, why are they at 1 life here with this many cards in hand? Why are they at 3 life?" Against Emu. Emu's at 3 life, Ace is at 3 life, and they have 2 cards in hand. Like, what happened?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, the pacing is definitely off. There were some, like, macro decisions that you've made throughout the game.
Over-countered here, under-countered here.
Yeah. Or, like, maybe taken life where you should have, or didn't protect board where you should... didn't protect board where you should have protected your board, resulting in Emu having more life than they probably should,
Yeah.
right? Things of that nature. So like pacing is kind of important too.
Yeah. I think with that being said, where do you guys think, what do you guys need left now before Nats? What
I need
is
a
your
good list.
You need a list?
I need a good list. Yeah, I think my list is close.
Yeah.
But I think I just need a little bit more reps. Also, Yellow Luffy and Boa. I think I'm pretty unfamiliar with those particular matchups, so I think Yellow Luffy I'm more familiar with. Boa definitely not that familiar with. So need more reps into definitely those. Black Yellow Moria, I think you can expect to see.
That's true.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
I've been playing.
God, Jackie Mock.
Yeah.
Is that what he's playing?
I think so.
That's so funny.
I think he said, okay, this is before he like has been going crazy, and before Moria got that result in Australia. But I think before he was saying he'd probably play Boa because on any day he can beat anyone playing Boa, just because of the way the deck works. But he's been kind of cooking people on Moria, so I could see that being. It's kind of like an aggressive Boa anyway.
Yeah.
I would say aggressive Yellow Luffy.
Aggressive yellow
yeah,
Luffy.
yeah.
Like it spits out more bodies and you're like mid
It
range.
just swings higher numbers, man.
Yeah.
The numbers are really annoying on that
Yeah.
deck.
The math is good.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's
Anyway.
another deck that I have to kind of be a bit more prepared for. I've been playing up until this point, which is not saying very much, strictly based off of like instinct and garbage time.
Yeah.
Against those decks specifically, right? It's just, oh, Yellow Luffy's going to play this. I'm going to respond by this. They're going to play this. I'm going to respond by this. And a particular decision point against that matchup, Ace into Yellow Luffy, is let's say they play Kid and they beam your life. You're down to 1 life here, right? Because your life got Robin and Kidded. You're expecting next turn another Kid to come out or Bonnie to come out. So you are faced with the decision, am I playing my 8-cost event into a Whitebeard card, taking the thing and then like trying to control the board or swing them down and win because the game is on a timer at this point, right? It's like, yes, I can live against an unblockable swing on the next turn, but the following turn likely won't be able to do so. And am I able to kill them at this point if they're at like 3 to 4 life?
Yeah.
So that's kind of a decision point that I have to decide whether or not it's worth it, or maybe you don't take that life and you force them to even have the
card to begin with.
And then you start playing a little bit of a slower game, protect your last life, and then if they decide to beam it, then you know they're going to swing at you big the following turn. Whatever cards they have on board really don't matter all that much because they get invalidated by your blockers, and then now you're kind of on a timer that way. You can spend more time removing their threats, swinging maybe 2 to 3 times into their life, and then ending the game that way. So I'm not really sure what is better or what is worse.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of where I'm at.
Yellow Luffy is very awkward to play into.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I'm curious if people, as they understand the deck better, if it will get worse results. I think already on Sim it's starting to drop a little bit, but that deck is very annoying to play into.
Yeah, it's definitely not easy. Even as Ace, like that matchup is supposed to be favorable for me, but honestly, if I go second, or if I go first, I think that matchup is losing for Ace. Like, I think that's a dice roll matchup.
Depending on like how good they see it.
Yeah.
And their stuff is quite searchable.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a little hairy sometimes. I don't know.
Purple Dofi, I'm also not that familiar with, to be honest. A lot of it is garbage time because I look at the deck and I'm like, it's really quite a flexible deck, but if I'm removing the big bodies as they come down and then slowly dealing with the Virgos and grinding them out, I think I can win the game because my cards are higher value than their cards.
Yeah, their deck just doesn't operate on the same scale as yours.
Yeah,
Like,
so I feel like I don't need to understand the matchup holistically against that deck particularly. I feel like I can just grind it out.
Yeah.
Nothing is going to catch me off guard other than Noro Beam, which I know exists. So
so
it
you
should be
shouldn't.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like Divine Departure, so don't just like willy nilly block with a blocker.
I think your playstyle also fits playing into that deck, where it's very free flowing. Like you're like testing them, and you know what's annoying to them, and like when they have to make a decision point and they make the wrong one, you're like, all right, time to capitalize. And take it from there.
Yeah, like sometimes when their Virgos are sitting, I'm just like, all right,
7.
Well, I'm just gonna. I'm not even gonna roundtable the
Yeah.
Virgo. I'll just play like Asabo Luffy, shrink it, and then see if I can like get leader ability out. I'll just swing like 2 over. I'm just like, you can give it to me. You can give it to me. You can give it to me, and then it finally dies, and I'm just like, Red Rock the big guy. Red Rock the big guy.
Get out of here! Get out!
That's a curious thing though. Is like Toro's like that plays to your strengths. Do you think that is a strength of yours? Like the ability to navigate garbage time. Like what do you consider your strengths as a card game player? That's an interesting one.
It is an interesting question because I actually don't really know what my strengths are. I think I'm reasonably fundamentally sound in most things that I do. I think as a learner or as a student of the game, I approach things kind of the same way, right? It's like understand what is effective and why they're effective, right? Like why things happen the way they do.
Yeah.
And I think that will lead you to like the many fundamentals that are necessary for whatever endeavors you want to achieve, right? And I think One Piece is one of them, right? So I think the first time I played One Piece, I just understood that the game's like, oh, combat works like this, right? Card economy works like this. If I swing 2 over, that's 2 cards or 1 event, right? Or whatever. So like, that's kind of how I understood stuff. What is my strong suit as a player? I don't actually know. I don't know if that's a like response that I can give. Maybe it's something that other players.
I think you can give that.
I like don't know.
I
Actually.
think I think probably that says more about your personality that you don't know, because like I think some people are more acutely aware of their strengths, and oftentimes a lot of people are even more acutely aware of their weaknesses, right? I think because like those are the things, but I think it just depends on the type of person you are.
Yeah, I have no idea. I have no idea what my strengths are, but I definitely know what my weaknesses are.
Yeah, I think that's more of a personality trait of yours as a person versus like, yeah,
maybe, yeah.
I think you understand like the state. You understand like your outs really well. Like what, like they didn't do this the turns before, so they probably don't have this. Like you have a good sense of like calculating risk, essentially.
Yeah, I think that probably came from playing Hearthstone or like maybe just a card game fundamental, or not a fundamental, but I think card game 10 commandments.
Yeah,
is play to win and don't play to not lose.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's like a thing that you see a lot of players doing is they stretch out the game. They're like mitigating all of the risk and then stretching out the game. But the way the game is progressing and the way the game is evolving over time leads them towards a more unfavored position.
You're just getting sucked into the black hole.
Exactly, right? It's like a very specific example of this is like taking the risk when your opponent has the least number of cards in their hand or when they've filtered the least, right? It's like they've seen the least number of cards possible ever here. I have to take the risk to remove whatever they have on board that is going to be an imminent threat over the course of 2 to 3 turns, is going to cost me 4 to 5 cards out of my hand. I need to risk the removal now. If they don't have it, then I win the game on the spot, right? It's like you're playing to win the game, not playing to not lose. If you play to not lose, you're gonna lose.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Nosturo into arrested Shanks. Am I just fucking sending it?
Sometimes you have to.
Yeah,
Like-
and then
like,
like
yeah.
I win the game on the spot
Yeah.
if it dies, and
Yeah.
then it's like, okay,
Yeah.
we play the game.
Like you have to look at the, what do they even call it? Like the risk to reward. If there's not that
EV,
much, yeah,
expected value.
yeah. If there's not that much risk to what you're doing, and the reward is very high,
I'm going for it.
Sounds like a
Yeah,
good
sounds
trade
good.
to me.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good trade to me.
Okay, so here's a different way of asking some of the questions I've been asking. What do you think your style of play is?
Style of play.
Fucking annoying, little rat like.
Me? You think so?
Yeah, when you played Purple Luffy,
Why is it rat like?
because you'd swing fucking 5 lead, and I'd be shaking in my boots.
Oh, I just like data. I like information.
Yeah.
I like to be I like to have the option to be flexible as a player. So I think I really like combat in One Piece. I really like being able to eke out advantages via combat. Like if I'm swinging 2 over and they give me 2k, 1k to protect their thing, I know in their head, I can understand how much they value this card living. and how much I can tax their hand based off of like I'm willing to give up my entire turn to tax you 4 to 5 cards, and then the following turn spend that same turn taking a lot of damage or spending a lot of resources to then fight for your board again.
And
So-
to finish it off.
Yeah. Like I like that kind of thing in One Piece, and maybe that's like my style is like combat based. I like having a lot of cards in my hand.
Yeah.
Having to play around pudding makes things a little bit more weird. Like when I'm playing against Boa, I don't love going down to like 6 cards in hand.
Yeah.
But playing against Yellow Luffy, playing against Emu, for example, if I have like 14 cards, Mihawk, like anywhere from like 9 to 14 cards in hand, I feel like super in control. My options are limitless. I can just do basically anything.
Yeah.
So I
feel
kind
like
of
you're
like that.
quintessential mid-range guy, if
Yeah.
I'm being honest, because like you like combat, but you're not like you don't like the low combat stuff. You don't like the poking 5-5-5-5-5 kind of gameplay.
No.
you like going 5 to poke for info or to like
And then go 7.
and then go like 8, 9. You know,
I
like-
do like that.
Is this footsies?
It's footsies. That's footsies.
It's kind of footsies, yeah.
I do like footsies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To go back to your strengths, I think you are a very fundamentally sound player, and I think that is like a core component to how you play.
Maybe.
Yeah. So I don't know if that's necessarily a style.
Yeah, I
but
don't really-
that is definitely a descriptor I would have for the way you play.
Yeah. I will say my weaknesses though are like pretty apparent as a player. I have stamina issues.
Eel.
I have been eating a lot of eel lately. I've been eating a lot.
Glucose.
I've been on eel and glucose lately.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fuck is this
performance
eel shit?
enhancer.
Performer enhancers.
Yeah, it
I
helps
think
you
I
with your
used to
stamina.
Oh, really? I used to eat eel like once a week or once every other week with my dad.
Eel good for
Yeah.
stamina.
Yeah, we had 2 I ate 2 whole
From the
eels.
seas of Japan.
Yeah. I ate 2 whole eels in Korea. It rained that day.
Bro, you yuck.
Yuck.
You
Move on.
You yucky.
Yuck. Yeah, that's like a thing that like Korean people always say.
I didn't
like,
know that.
Eel, good for stamina, good
Yeah.
for men.
Yeah, I had no idea. I had no idea.
Yeah, that's some fucking salty ass rain.
Why is this rain cloudy?
Cloudy,
but-
chance-
Kind of like you nut.
cloudy with a chance of balls.
But stamina for sure for
Yeah.
me. Like I get tired very quickly. I lose concentration. There are plenty of times when I'm playing where I'm like really thinking about a play, and then all of a sudden I think of like I should
lose the plot.
like I just do this. Like shouldn't I just do this and see what happens? And like the more I think back on it, I'm just like, that was dumb as fuck. I don't just count like how much counter I need. I look at my hand and I'm like, I have 6 2Ks. I should be fine. Just count the thing. Yeah.
Yeah, don't leave it up.
Yeah,
to
just count the thing.
feel.
There have been times where like I was like, I should be fine, and they go like 17 lead, and I'm like, oh, I'm 1K short.
Yeah.
Like,
What
fuck.
the fuck?
That was
Yeah.
so easy for me to
Yeah.
have just like spend the seconds to do
Yeah,
that.
but I just like didn't have the cognitive bandwidth at the time to just like do it. Like I
Yeah.
just like slipped.
How about you? Let's move on to you.
Strengths?
Let's interview. Yeah. Style of play, strengths, weaknesses. What do you think for yourself as we move into Nats? Because I think this is.
Oh, I think I'm the copier. I think I've talked about this. I'm really good.
You're the guy from Shokugeki.
Yes.
You make it things 1% better.
Yeah.
Oh, you're the goat.
Yeah.
I think that's my strength. Is I'm really good at seeing people play lines, and just maybe not understanding why those lines are played, but understanding that they're good lines. Like because I'll see someone play a line, then I'll play it myself, and I'm like, vibes are good. This line is good, and then I will like continuously go down that path.
Spiritual player.
Low key. Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Oh no! Oh no!
Yeah. So I think.
I see a demon.
So
I
I
was
think.
thinking it's oh fuck, where Ryo is from?
Death Note.
No.
The Shadow World.
No, the samurai spirit guy. Oh my god, old shonen. They main character, big headphones, spiky hair, thin
Shaman
arms.
King.
Shaman King.
Yeah.
He's Shaman King.
Yeah.
He's whirling up the ghosts. He's like, oh, that goes that. Toss that guy out. Yeah.
Oh, this guy? Cock big.
We're in there. So I think I'm good at then picking out like what lines I think are good, and then
Do you think you're reliant on other people to tell you why, like, that things are good? Because, like, I would say if you're blindly copying, then you're fully a victim to your environment, right?
Yes. So I think this is a real life example inserted is that both of you were able to play GP way before I was able to play GP.
I think saying that I was able to play GP is fucking crazy.
Yeah, me too.
I have done nothing on that deck.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying even in like a locals environment, like, or other people just like playing the deck. I just got to like watch for like a long period of time and like build like what I was like, oh, this is like what they do here and this is why they do it. And like, oh, like classic GP thing that people do is attached onto their characters and then not have enough to like live, or just like use Dawn to not play another character and swing bigger. And I was just like watching people play the game, and I was like, you just swing base. This guy's 2 over their guy. Like, he's gonna give you 2 cards if you just swing Sanji Pudding into him.
Yeah.
That like you don't need to like. The point of it is like you're gonna survive with like 4 Gum Gum Giants in hand, 5 in my deck. Yeah, like 4 Gum Gum Giants, like 3 Bagwas. Like, you're not dying.
Yeah.
Like, you just chip them out into then playing like SEC Luffy and you kill them. Like, the game just like made sense in that context, and I was like able to watch people play it out that way. And then thank God my environment is very good. Because we just have like a lot of good players we can talk to. You guys are good, like fundamentally good. So I can watch you guys play the deck, and then I can ask questions and be like, why is this good? And like, why would you do this over this? And it's really nice because I think I undervalue myself a lot, as you know. Like, I'm always just like,
He is a down player.
Down player.
You're a very decorated player overall. Like, just in 2025, 2 top 16s is like, that's like super important, right?
Yeah.
And then you have a regional win.
Yeah.
So I had nothing. I had like 3 top 64s. 2026 regional win though. Big for me.
Yes, yeah. We got there in 2026.
2026, I got there. Big for me.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm a down player, but I think my personality is also just being malleable.
Were you a good student?
No, I was actually quite a shit student.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, same here.
I was gonna say, like, I feel like these are qualities of a good student, right? Like,
Being a
I'm a-
spongy.
I'm
being
a
a sponge.
good student for things I like.
Yes, I'm the exact same way.
So with golf, I was like, I really liked golf. So I was like willing to put in the time to like think about and watch golf a lot.
Yeah.
But not.
But then when it comes to ceramics, you're like, what the fuck, man? I don't know the difference. These stupid ass red clay and this white clay, man.
Okay,
What the fuck is the difference?
Let's just say like math.
Yeah.
I was like,
He likes math, so I thought it was kind of.
no, I like ceramics. That shit's dope.
I like ceramics too.
It's art.
But this guy might not like it.
I like everything.
Yeah,
is
140 over here.
Yeah.
Of course
this,
you
this
would.
is definitely where you guys and I are very different, because like I was a good student because like everything's fun. Like learning about anything is
I hated
fun.
math and science.
Nah. Like math, science,
History.
like, history.
I just like learning.
I if I found it cool, like I think history I was very good at, because it was a lot of memorization and the things were fun to memorize.
Yeah.
Like it was like, oh, this war. Oh, this guy's name is kind of cool. I just like got that. So I think that memorization then comes into like games. And then I think I'm just like willing to take risks in a game, whether they are bad or good. Sometimes I'm just like, all right, time to go for it. And I just like, all right, I'm going to die in 2 turns. Something that in that Ikailakai guide that resonated really deeply with me was that like, this isn't a game on like, One Piece as a game is just winning a turn before your opponent does. So like, you're just trying to kill them a turn before they kill you.
Yes.
So right, like that is the whole game. Like, it's
How much you win by doesn't matter.
doesn't matter. So I was like, oh, that makes a lot of sense, because that was like the essence of GP.
Yeah, it's like you basically grind the game out to the point where you have the highest chance of winning, but you're going to die the following turn.
Yeah.
If you win by a long shot, that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like
It doesn't matter.
Like why take the risk of like jamming everything and then they have enough counter and then you will lose the game at that point. Just go like little by little, control the board little by little, grind the game out, take the cards at their hand up until the point where you have no life, they have no life, but you get to swing first.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that like recontextualized the game for me today, pretty much. And I was like, oh, this is why I like GP. Or like, this is why I vibed well. So now I'm like going into Emu with that contextualization. Weaknesses. Very bad vibes guy. Very bad at learning the game. Like, very bad at learning new decks. Because I don't have, like, I like game plans. I like understanding scenarios and like why they come up. So when new decks arise, it's like I have a lot of trouble at locals, especially because I never put the prep in to be like, oh, like what does this deck do? I just play guy on 5 Dawn and they're like blow it up and I'm like, that's a new card.
I didn't know that could happen.
I didn't know that could happen. And I just get blown out of the water. And then like it's just like stuff like that. And like I don't understand like when decks spike, like why. Another thing in that guide is the lifespan of a card.
Yes.
Because like you are pitching cards, right? In Emu, similar to Sokka. Like, is this card going to be useful or when it's going to be useful?
Yep.
So like Top Man, for example.
Yep.
He is good late in the game because he is a blocker. But early in the game, some scenarios are different. Maybe into Mihawk, you need him to swing because he's a 4 cost, or in the mirror. But if you are just like needing a card to pitch, he can be a first option. And I was like, oh, understood. Now, like, that is in my line of play where this guy is an option to pitch because of this reason. And like, once I think with GP, I had those reasons. I was like, oh, I like understand what I'm doing with the deck. And with Emu, thank God this guide exists. I just need to put everything into practice. So yeah, I think my strengths are like learning deck, but weaknesses is new deck, no game plan, bad fundies. Actually, I think I have quite bad fundamentals or heuristics. Yeah, like I just don't understand. I just don't see what decks are trying to do when you just like present me the leader. Like with the Bonnie leader, I'm like, oh, send this shit down to 2. I'm 7K. Run that. But like that might not be correct.
I don't know. When I look at a leader, I also don't really understand it. I have to look at the whole context of what the deck list is.
I need to see the
like
deck
if I see the deck list, I'll be like, these cards do this. This card does this. You probably have to be careful of this and what their curve looks like, right? It's like how in this deck, how is the game going to progress? What is the environment like? And then I can kind of picture it from there, but I do still need to play into it.
Yeah.
Obviously.
I'm not very good at those garbage time scenarios where it's like, oh, the game has gone kind of off kilter. Like, where are we at in this? Yeah, that's why I think I want to play just like more consistent searching decks. How about you, Jen? Back to you.
Style of player that I am, I feel like I'm just generally well-rounded. That's probably my greatest strength. And just like how I am as a human being is like jack of all trades, you know?
Master of Rayleigh.
Master.
Jack of all trades, master
So
of
ridiculous
Rayleigh.
because I don't think I'm a master of Rayleigh.
Yeah, that's crazy because he won the regional. Then he's like, I'm going to play GP in the next one. What
I
the
was
fuck?
like, I'm done with it. Yeah, I think...
Lifespan of a card.
Yeah, so I think like that's my strength. That's my flexibility, right? Like
yeah,
I think,
for sure.
I think I just play everything to a reasonable degree, and then like it doesn't take me long to get probably to a point where I could reasonably win a tournament with it. You know, like that Rayleigh tournament is like the greatest example of that, right? Like my prep work was like a week in, and I hadn't played the deck yet, and then I like
Yeah, it was
played
like
it for a
two.
week.
It was like 2 events or something.
Yeah, like
Yeah, but I got his vibes high. He just beat my ass for like 4 hours the day before that regional. He just played GP into Rayleigh and went 6, 6, 6, 6. And I was like, yeah, you got it.
Yeah, normally that would have been me, but I was in China.
Yeah. Yeah, I just got my ass beat for so long.
yeah, so like I think that's just like my general strength. I think, to be honest, I'm like the optimal like sparring partner.
Yeah, for
in
sure.
card games. Like, oh, we need help in this matchup. Okay, let me just pile this deck and then we'll talk about it. And then I'm also very theories oriented guy, so like I can talk through my lines and whatever and talk through situations. So I honestly I think I'd make a pretty good coach. I'm
Yeah,
not gonna
for
sure. Do I know the right way to coach? No, but I think I have enough to offer in terms of like how I think about the game. My weaknesses is something that I've talked about a lot, which is just volume. I think again I'm in the same boat of heuristics. My heuristics are bad, but because my ability to think on the fly and fundamentals are strong, I've gotten by with having bad heuristics. That's why I play. It's been like night and day when I play currently and in previous sets, because in previous sets I'd play at a much slower pace because I had to think about the situations a lot more because I don't understand immediately where the game is going to go. And so I just had to kind of like think about it and go like, nah, I'm pretty sure this is like the best avenue to go. And I just kind of think out turn by turn while thinking ahead. But like sometimes there'll be trip ups, but like because of my risk tolerance for certain situations, like it's fine, and like I just navigate it to the best of my ability, which like has done me quite well, but wouldn't be the best. And like one thing that I've noticed now with playing Mihawk, because I've put quite a few games now into Mihawk, is like I can play pretty fast, and like I just kind of know what I want to do, and then like I can optimize here and there. Like I've definitely still make mistakes here and there, and I want to tighten up whatever. But like at least like I have the understanding of like game flow and like what things will happen, and I can play for that, right? So I'm trying to overcome my volume weakness and my heuristics weakness now with just sheer preparation, and so that is my goal for the next 2 weeks from here on out. So that's what I would say about myself. Weaknesses also, I randomly have like a stupid gene where that comes out, where just like,
oh, I've been a witness of the stupid gene.
Yeah,
It
like,
is really stupid.
Yeah. Like sometimes like something overcomes my brain, and I just do the dumbest thing possible.
Yeah.
And I
You've thrown a lot of games via that.
and then I yell on my way home. But
you're a thrower.
Yeah, sometimes.
I think it's all connected though, because it's like I'm thinking too hard about situations that should be obvious. They should be just under the banner of heuristics, but because I'm having to sit there and cook my brain the whole time, like eventually
the wires are gonna fry.
I get my wires mixed or something, and then I just do something dumb. So I think like luckily I feel like stamina hasn't been a super issue, but like I've made my life harder because like I'm having to burn so much more fuel to get to the places I have. If that makes sense.
How another interview question? Regional winners.
That's me.
I got first and second this last year.
That's no. You started off 2026 second. 2025
no,
was
I got
first.
second. I got second last year too.
Oh, TC though.
In a TC.
Yeah, TC.
You get that?
He's the GOAT.
Cut sheet back.
No.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So annoying.
Okay. Anyway, play TCG. Hurry up.
Yeah.
How close do you feel to the summit? Like, do you feel like you could stand upon the summit? Like, that's in your realm? Because I never, like, personality-wise, I just don't think I will. But, like, I don't feel that I'm that far away. Just because, like, I do beat players who are better than me. Not all the time, but a decent amount of time. Kyle, I will get you back. I will get his ass back.
For me, the summit, man, it's really interesting because after winning the Azuki event, it really put a lot of things in context for me because a lot of really great players were playing the game, right? So like we're all on even playing field at this point. It's a brand new game. Everybody has access to the same cards and the same whatever, and I just felt like we were leagues ahead of some of the other players, and might just be time in kind of thing, right? It's like they didn't put as much time in as we did, and that comes to One Piece as well, right? Like if that variable is the same for all card games, if time in is really the most important thing, then I'm quite far off from the summit. I just don't have enough time to put into it.
People do play the game as like a full-time job.
Yeah, some people have the full-time, have playing card games and tournament setting as a full-time job, and I just don't have the bandwidth to do it.
You know what's funny is I agree with everything, but I came to the opposite conclusion.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because in the thing I learned was SoCal players are really lazy, and so I felt like we did put the work in, and we were leagues ahead in a limited field in whatever. But what the thing it told me was that like if we put the same effort into One Piece, then we should be at the summit. Is like my understanding.
No. So we do agree that is what I said.
Yeah, but I think like the effort we put into Azuki wasn't necessarily like extraordinary. You know,
it was extraordinary for me.
It was also pretty extraordinary for me, but
I just thought it was more structured. I thought just practice was just better. It wasn't that I put more time into One Piece or One Piece.
In addition to that practice, I played at like other play sessions for like 24 hours like that week.
Oh, I definitely did.
Yeah. You weren't there.
No,
yeah.
I think like
I played that game a lot.
With Azuki, I felt like I got to a point where there's like not much I could do to get better. I saw the play level around me and was like, everything is so below even from these other like quote unquote top players of other games that like there's just only so much more prep I could do. Like at that point I felt like fully prepped. There's nothing I could do. And then it's up to card game variance.
Me
at
too.
That point.
Yeah, I felt like incredibly prepped going into it.
I think for One Piece, like I think I could get to the same place. It is about the time spent, doing it. But I also think it's about the structure in which we did things. And like Tor and I talked about this afterwards too, is that like I think if we had approached a lot of our practice the way we did for Azuki for One Piece, like we could get so many dividends in such less amount of time than like what people are doing on Sim and all this other stuff and like locals and stuff like that. Like that I think they're good. I think locals and Sim is good for burning off steam potentially.
Locals guy, by the way,
for people, but I think like if I'm only concerned about improving as a player and for preparation,
it's not the ideal environment.
Yeah, and like that is another thing that like frustrates me about our play group sometimes. Is just like we're just like so unwilling to do things that are like quote unquote optimal for practice. But that being said, I do think this time around, like I think I can get to, in the next 2 weeks, I think I can get to a prep level that might not be the same as Azuki just because there are more decks, more cards, more variables.
Yeah. But I think
close.
So I 100% agree with everything you said. I think we just landed on different conclusions, not because of, it's like in Azuki, everybody has the same start time, right? Like we all start at the same time. But in One Piece, there are a lot of players who have been putting like hours in for much, much longer. Like if we started putting in the same hours now, I still think I will be behind some of those players who have put in like hours and hours in prior formats, especially if those leaders are like good, right? So like for Ace and Emu, for example, those leaders have been powerful for more than one format. So like people who have put in historical hours in OP13 are still going to be better and more prepared than people who put in those same amount of hours in 14 they put in that same amount.
So the thing though that I think is different is that I think One Piece is, so we have more decks, all this stuff, but like I think the game is not that deep or complex. I don't want to say it's like not deep and not complex, but I think the ceiling of like what you can get out of One Piece is not that high.
Maybe not.
Yeah, like I don't think like the summit is that hard. Like I think there's a certain level of prep that you can get to where there just isn't like viably that much more you can do. So I think like getting to that point is the important part. And I think for One Piece, it's just like not that out of reach. It would take a little bit more practice and stuff, but I truly believe like in the environment that we have with the time that everyone has, like we could get way closer.
We could get way closer. I just like don't think that I have the available time to just like sink in like I did. Azuki was a little different because it was a very short sprint. So like I could do it, but One Piece is an ongoing marathon and just like don't know that I can continuously do it.
I think
But like I think what Jin is trying to say is that like you're like chipping away at the summit, right?
Yeah.
And like the last 30 feet is like not that much time put in, like because there's only so much you can do in the 30 feet, like at the top, that like the last like fucking 2,000 is like what we're like getting through, and once we get to 30 feet, like we're pretty much there. And like we just
Maybe,
need
I don't
like
know.
a
I feel
little
like
bit
it's
of
so
extra.
close.
I feel
And
like
then-
I'm far off.
And then the only other thing too is that like we have so many advantages because we have deck lists ahead of time. We have all this other stuff. Like we have so much data that catches you up to begin with, which is honestly like how I've succeeded as a One Piece player to this point, has all off of like what other people have done the work for me for.
Yeah.
Like I don't feel like I've put in the work for One Piece at all. But like if I start applying myself and practicing with like a real purpose in mind, I think like it's not that far. I think the pinnacle is not that high, and I think like a lot of the people that we have could reach that with like good practice.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, One Piece also is, for me, is kind of like, it's really interesting because I think I have a little bit of imposter syndrome with One Piece, just because I think I'm a fairly competent player, but I wouldn't consider myself like a top player or someone who's like really good. But then it's really weird because like a lot of people around me are like, dude, this guy is like super good. I'm like, I don't know where that came from. And these
Well-
are from like really decorated players too. So like, I think they're just like Sloptron 3000. I'm not really sure.
I just think like One Piece players, there's just like a very easy divide that you can make where
Yeah.
like like players who make obvious mistakes are just, you just chuck them into the like you're just
Other
below.
basket,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
other basket. I don't want to call them trash, but you know,
Yeah,
you're just
yeah,
like they're just not there yet.
Yeah.
And then there are players who play solidly, and then they're just like missing some stuff at the top.
Mhm.
And like I think I belong in that category. Like
I
I think,
believe I belong in that category too.
and so like I think like I'm missing stuff, but I also, the Azuki experience and like the Riftbound experience told me that the peak is actually not as high as I thought, is like the way I looked at it. And it was just like about putting in the specific effort to actually make the climb and to get there. And I think like it is very achievable.
I think so too.
And I think like the hard part for most people is actually getting out of that other basket to begin with. You know, like the hard part wasn't
like we've done most of the legwork already, is what you're saying.
yeah, the legwork is already done in terms of like understanding the flow of the games and all this stuff. And now it's just like refining the really micro stuff, right? And like
How much of that, of like the legwork that you think we've already done, right? Like the what is it you refer to as like 2,000 feet or whatever?
Metaphorical
Mountain. Yeah.
Yeah, like how much of that do you think was consciously done playing One Piece specifically?
I think it's okay. So if you were to divide the mountain, like everything below that, if you put it into a scale of 1 to 100, I think 75% of that can just be made up with just playing other card games.
I was gonna say not even card games. For me, I think it's just gaming,
just gaming,
in general.
yeah. But I think card games, because
Maybe specifically Hearthstone had a bit more impact because it's a card game, but like gaming in general has taught me like I think the fundamentals of understanding how games should progress at a competitive level.
yes, but also card games help you orient your, at least the way I think about the
Uh-huh.
game. Like it helped me understand like what I'm calculating, right? I can just like do the math on like how many cards I expect them to have the outs for, how many cards that I have to calculate the outs for, and I play very much like almost like the game is poker, and I'm just like calculating my outs. What is the percentage chance that they win here versus I win on this spot? And then depending on how those odds look, I'll just do the thing that wins me more times out of 100 than them, right? Like
Yeah.
I just make that decision.
It's pretty interesting.
But
because
that framework is like very card games oriented.
I don't know. I think it's fighting games oriented too. They're just turn-based games.
Yeah, maybe it's turn-based games, but like not everyone plays or even thinks about fighting games that way either.
Yeah.
Because like I do think that way in fighting games too, where I'm like, well, this is their habit, and they do this like what feels like most of the time.
Yeah.
So then I start to calculate the odds of, okay, I'm going to orient my game plan expecting that they're going to do this thing.
Not to mention however much resources they have in the form of like meter or whatever, or cards in hand. Things
Yeah,
of that
yeah.
nature,
Like,
right? It's like,
oh, they have
this
level
option?
3 option.
Yeah, yeah.
Now I have to respect. You
Yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah.
So I also think about fighting games in the optics of card games, but that is not how everyone orients themselves on how they think about fighting games, right?
So maybe that's why I think maybe I learned the game very quickly. I didn't make any sort of conscious effort to get better at one piece very specifically. It just happened.
I would, for me, I still had a missing 25% of just like understanding like the game, because
I see.
I talked about this before, but like the mental model of how I understood One Piece was like so different than some of the other card games I've played. So I had to like kind of figure that out first, and then once that was figured out, like I feel like nowadays, like yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say I don't make mistakes or like there's not like things that I'm missing or et cetera, but like I feel like the legwork has been done, and it's just about refinement, and the refinement can only actually go so far.
Yeah.
So, like once you're at the point where you're only toggling decklist pieces, you're that's it. Like you've already done the legwork. You already know what cards are good and like how you want your like the contact points between your deck and your opponent's deck. And the reason why you're adjusting the pieces now is just to give yourself slight edges in certain spots.
Yeah.
You're done. Technically you've done the legwork. For me, it was just like gameplay wise, I think there are certain things that I can just make a little bit clearer for myself, so that way when I get into a tournament setting, like I don't have to actively think. Yeah, I don't have to actively think, and those things just happen.
Yeah, you know the equations. You're not looking at a new equation.
I don't have to calculate anything.
Yeah.
I've already done the legwork.
Because that eats, for me, that's also a big thing, is because I don't do a lot of this preparation, the necessary preparation going into an event. I think I burn out by maybe like round 6 or 7 because I have to, like, I think my strength as a player allows me to play on the fly a lot in garbage time. I can look at the equations, I can figure out what the answer is, but it burns a lot of my mental resources, and then I just burn out by like round 7, and I start making more and more mistakes by that time. Yeah. But the solution to that is grapes.
Glucose.
Yeah. So like I just think like my goal is like play a lot of games, feel out a lot of situations so that like I don't have to actively think about when those situations come back up. And from there, then my tournament mindset can just be about playing the game out as is. I don't have to like worry about this out, you know, like it's already done. Now I'm just there to
go through the motions.
Yeah, go through the motions, and if the cards are good, they're good. If they're not, they're not.
Yeah,
and I think that's like the bell curve, right? Because if you start there, you're ass.
Yeah.
But you have to put in the work, and then once you're there,
you get there again.
Yeah. So like I think that's the goal, and I don't think it's that far. I really don't. And
I just feel like I don't have. I do have the time. Like I can put in the time, but I have to sacrifice a lot of stuff, and like I don't know if I'm willing to like make those necessary sacrifices at the current point in my life.
Yeah. No. I just think card games are actually like really time efficient, so that's why they're like nice for competing in. Like compared to like a fighting game or some other games, like card games, like the situations are so much less complicated.
Sure.
So,
There's not like the mechanical aspect.
That is another component.
It's just like the mental aspect of like, I'm not gonna flub drawing my cards.
Yeah.
Some people.
Okay, well,
You be drawing 2 and shit.
Draw 2 and lose $100K worth of prizing.
But you know, like you're not gonna flub that like mechanical portion. So it's all the mental thinking portion of card games that makes it like everyone has the even playing field.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think so. Like, I think the mental faculties, like, I'm trying to think of other reasons why you wouldn't be able to reach the top, right? It's just like maybe you don't have the concentration space to get there, or like, I don't know, like you just have learning disabilities or something, like whatever. Like, but for the most part, like I think everyone we play with all have the capability to do it, and it's just about putting the legwork in. And I think some people in our group have
more to catch up on.
Yeah, more to catch up on. But like everyone has the capability to do it, and like I think like on the better side of our group, the more decorated players, like I think we honestly just have to put in that little extra legwork, and we're there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, because I know for a fact that other top players are not working that hard.
I don't know.
Some are. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Some are. But like overall, I've seen it in fighting games. I've seen it in League of Legends.
Yeah,
I've seen
yeah,
it in
yeah.
all sorts of fighting, like whatever. Top players, the truly best of the best will be grinding. Like that is
Forever.
their forever thing. But there are tons of pro top, let's say 10 players.
Yeah.
That like.
They've already done the work, so they're just goofing off now.
Yeah. Like they don't. Yeah. They're just goofing off.
Yeah.
Occasionally they lock in, and you're like,
Damn.
shit.
Yeah, you're like, damn.
Because
shit.
the truth is, like, you reach that summit and you're coasting.
Yeah.
You what work do you have left to do?
Yeah,
Really, it's just like you're trying to eke out that 0.1% of the 0.1%.
Because there's in this particular competitive format, there's no like higher ceiling, right? It's like if
Yeah.
you are the best player in the world, you're just the best player in the world. You can't get better than the best player in the world.
Yeah.
Like you are just the best.
So like, I mean, there's
It's not like speed running.
and with card games too, there's only
Yeah.
there's a finite amount of things you can explore. Right, so after a certain point, it's done. The legwork is done, and now you're coasting. And I think card games like are conducive to that, like as opposed to like fighting games and League of Legends, for example. Like they're just like infinitely more variables, which is why like I think the best players will always just be the grinding players. But a lot of players can get by with just having 99% of the way there,
Sure.
and they can coast.
Yeah.
So, anyways, that was my spiel.
Yeah.
Well, anyways,
The summit.
the summit. I don't think it's far. I don't think it's far, guys. I don't think so.
I'm just trying to send one of us to Worlds. It don't have to be me at all.
I think it's possible.
I'm trying to go to Japan with the lads.
Yeah, it's certainly possible, but man, like I would have to give up a lot of time.
You think so? Like, how much
do.
time do you think you have to put in?
It's 2 weeks. For this one.
Yeah, so the thing
And like,
thing is,
wouldn't you put more time into this than Azuki?
I would put more time into this than Azuki, probably.
Yeah. So like, whatever you did for Azuki, like for Nats,
it's just work. I took a vacation, so like my work is fucking slammed right
Yeah.
now. Like I'm working for like 12 hours a day, starting at 5 a.m.
yeah.
Like
Extracurricular.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
just like actually fucked up, and then like I have to find the energy and then time to go to the gym after that, and then after that, it's like, dude, I don't have the
Joking.
bandwidth to fucking do anything. Like I am just fried in the brain.
That's fair.
Yeah, it is like fucked up.
Life circumstance.
Yeah. So just like don't.
Stunted.
Yeah, this particular time, like during Azuki at work, I was just like, I'm kind of just coasting right now. Like I don't have any deliverables. Now, like I left for a week and a half, and I'm just like everything's on fire.
Yeah.
I can play a lot. But
We're gonna play a lot.
we're gonna play a lot. I need this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've seen the top. I feel I can smell the top.
I've never seen the top, but I can definitely smell it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I don't know. I think no matter what, like, it's funny because RNG will always be, either your friend or your enemy in these tournaments. And I think I've seen like currently how much luck I would need, but I think it's fine. Oh,
It says
card's
card
full.
full.
That's tough. You're
He's
your
gonna
side.
be on the big
That's fine.
cam.
We'll just
Yeah,
have
you're
a
on the
big
big
one,
cam. Yeah.
But I mean, we're ending.
Yeah,
now,
we're
so,
ending anyways. So,
All right.
Anyways, thanks for listening to our spiel about actual One Piece for once,
Yeah.
and we'll catch you guys next week and talk probably more about.
Oh,
Nats.
let us know now that I'm here official. If they want like asynchronous tournaments, because I know you guys have talked about that.
Oh, I think
and
I wanna
doing
do that as a
stuff-
perk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and doing stuff in the Discord as like, oh, we want to play like games or like community events.
Yeah.
I think could be fun.
I think
and,
once a
like,
month we should do like games with people and
Yeah.
Patreon.
Yeah.
So
And also, we have to figure out how to do this Azuki giveaway thing. Like,
yeah, I
don't
talked
know.
to John about it.
Yeah, 'Cause John will just give us the stuff, but then we have to.
We
I don't
just
know.
have to
Have you
ship
done
it out.
Have you done a giveaway thing before? Like, what do? Just input into an engine and it just picks people?
Yeah, there's like random number generators.
Oh, okay. And
Essentially,
that'll be fine.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, cool. So we just have to take everybody in the Discord, and then we'll give out the prizing. Give us your
or
mailing address.
Patreon
yeah.
in
Yeah.
general, because
Yeah,
I think some
Patreon.
people join the Patreon and aren't in the
And
Discord.
into the
Yeah, we'll just
Discord,
contact you, and then we'll ask for your mailing address or your PO box, and we'll ship it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So, okay. Anyways, that's that. Again, you can use code Xell on Endgame and get 10% off your sleeves. And other than that, we'll see you guys next time.
We'll see you.
Bye-bye.